Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, and if you're looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today we are doing chapter 27 of A Series of Death. "What are you doing?" the wolf yelled, glancing at the hair behind Trembor. He could hear the labored breathing. "What I'm doing?" Trembor growled. "What the fuck are you doing here? What does it look like?" The wolf had his side, wincing at the claw marks here and there. Trembor buried the concern under his anger. "It looked like you were about to kill an enforcer." Something about it wasn't right. His head hurt, his neck, breathing was painful. What happened? "He's not an enforcer," the wolf said. "I promise you that. He tied you up." Trevor looked at the chair, the ropes on the ground. It seemed to confirm the wolf's story, except they hadn't been tied. He remembered looking over a body, someone entering the room, then his head hurt. Movement behind him. Marlot took a step to the side, and Trevor moved to stay between him and the enforcer. "He's getting away!" the wolf yelled as the gray hair darted out of the room. "Tough luck!" Trevor growled and ignored the pain it caused his throat. "Why are you stalking me? I made it clear I want nothing to do with you." The wolf stared at him, a shocked expression on his face. "What? Trem, Don't call me that. I'm not stalking you," the wolf spat. "That kind of male. What kind of male do you think I am?" The admission hurt, and Trevor used the annoyance at himself to feed the anger. "You fucking know what kind of male you are. This game of innocence you keep playing is getting on my nerve." He swallowed to ease the pain. "If you aren't stalking me, what are you doing here then?" How did you even know where I was?" "He told me where you were," the wolf yelled, pointing at the bedroom door. The enforcer had told him? Marlot had spied in the enforcers? Why did that even surprise him at this point? Had he set up the scene just for that? Just to, it's going to need, just to, what? Get him alone? Rescue him? The anger and fear smelled real in the room, but there were so many scents mixed together it was impossible to tell who felt what. "You're going to stop this. I'm not playing this game anymore." "Game? You think this is a game?" the wolf asked. "That male isn't giving me any choice. You don't get it. He shut his muzzle so fast Tremor could imagine the sound, as if this was a cartoon from his youth. "Yes?" Trevor asked, deciding to let the wolf explain himself. Maybe this wasn't what it looked like. Maybe the wolf hadn't intended for this. The wolf tightened his lip. Of course not. This was yet another attempt to manipulate him. "That's what I thought. Get out." "Trem, please. I was trying to save you." "Save me? Really? Is that what killing an enforcer was?" The gall of the wolf. "None of this is about me. It's all about you, your fucking ego. You just can't accept that I'm not yours, that I saw through all this and got out. You're sick, Marlot. Now get out of my scene." He narrowed his eyes. "Unless you have something to tell me about how the body died." "Of course not." "Oh? You don't have that guy's ID for some reason?" Trevor grinned at him, waiting for how he'd explain that. Marlot's expression darkened, his ears folding back. He took something out of a pocket and flicked it at Trembor, who caught it just as it was about to hit his chest. It's not that male's ID I got," the wolf growled. Trembor turned it over in his hand. It was his ID. How had Marlot gotten his ID? When had he used it last? He knew the wolf hadn't been near here. The growl formed, and he glared at the wolf. "How dare you drag other people into this sick game? Who did you force to steal this?" "Will you open your eyes and unclog your nose? The smells are all here. That hair attacked you. I saved you. If not for me, stop it! If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't hurt so fucking much. No one else did this to me. It's you and your fucking need to own me. I don't know why you keep trying when it's clear I know what you're doing. At least Gorak had stopped the moment it had been clear Trembor saw through his game. He'd played hurt for a while, but when Trembor stopped reacting to it, he moved on to easier prey. That lion had never been one to work too hard at something. Trem, what are you talking about? I don't get the fuck out. Trembor bared his teeth, extended his claws before I decide to gut you. The wolf took a step back, eyes wide. He looked like he'd say something. Plead again? Offer another lie? Instead, he backed to the doorway, hands up, and then hurried out and away. He waited. Trembor waited for the sound of the outside door to tell him he had finally kicked the wolf out of his life. He was finally free. The wolf had gotten the message, and he'd never have to deal with him again, never have to risk falling for his trick. He wrapped his arm against himself and tried to contain the pain. He wanted to roar. He felt like he'd just ripped his heart out. Why did being free hurt so much? Because he convinced you the lies were real, he whispered. You know that. Gorak did the same thing. The pain would pass. It had with Gorak, and the lion had had his claws in a lot deeper than the wolf had. Or at least, it's what he told himself. He noticed something on the dresser as he fought to slow his breathing. There had been nothing there when he looked the room over. He was sure of that. The fuzzy part had come after he'd done that, once he was examining the body. Marlot hadn't been near the dresser. It was an ID. Near the dresser. It was an ID face down. He turned it, and a rhinoceros's face looked back at him. Pevere Roughskin, the name said. It was his body's ID, the one he couldn't find. The only one who had been close to the dresser had been the enforcer, the hare. If he was the one who'd left it there, why did he have it in the first place? He looked around the room. He wasn't sure what he was smelling anymore. He took out his pad and called dispatch. All right, Golden Mane, he said once the line connected. Can you tell me who was left at my scene? He gave the address. The sound still seemed hectic over there. That address isn't in the system. We're dealing with a riot in the financial district. It's possible it was misfiled. How about Officer... Trembor closed his eyes then and realized the hare had never gave his name. The hare had mentioned the others. Hard chest? Female. I don't know the species. Can you tell me where she is? I don't have an officer by that name, the male said. Are you sure of the name? It was the name the hare had told them. He wished he could recall the other one, but he hadn't been paying attention. That one would probably not be an officer either. He looked at the ID in his hand. Was Marlot right? Was this some sort of setup? Had the hare done this? Or was all of this Marlot's game? This was the second body in his territory the wolf had showed up to. The first one still had nothing to point to the killer. He didn't want to believe Marlot would leave two bodies to rot just so he could pull Trembor onto his claws. He didn't want to. Trembor! Someone called from elsewhere in the house. Jexka, he realized. Last bedroom, he yelled back, then realized he was still on his pad. Sorry, he told the officer, and thank you for looking into this. Not a problem, all right, Golden Mane. He put the pad away and stepped to the body. The hare couldn't have done this. He was prey. But someone had taken him down. He vaguely recalled fighting someone. Maybe they wore an enforcer uniform? Did you know you have a mannequin at the back door? The red frog asked. I opened the door to ask him where you were, and it toppled over. Also, you don't have any officers setting up a perimeter. When the newsies get here, it's going to be chaos. Trevor nodded. The riot should keep them busy for a while. Are you okay? Jexka asked. Trevor shook his head. If Marlot was right about this, what did it mean for the rest? Nothing, he told himself. The wolf had still hacked his pad, still tried to control him, to make him his possession. Even if the scene wasn't what it looked like, the wolf had still used it as an opportunity to regain control over him. The wolf. Marlot had been in the room. Fuck. He looked around as the frog waited on him. His entire scene was compromised. This is a mess. And this concludes chapter 27 of A Series of Death. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter is going to be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read the whole story as well as the other books in the series, they are available on all major e-retailer. If you want a different way to support me, that is on my Patreon, or you can also get access to just about everything I've written. And if you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. The links are in the notes, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.